Yeah, so let's begin with book number 5. Yeah. The reason why we go through this way was at the request of some people. They are not here. Um, so it's okay. As long as it's in the being recorded, inshallah. So the first page is all about when we have an alif with the hamzatul wasl in the beginning. Yeah. So we understand that if the rule is like this, right? We discussed before when alif is the first letter of a sentence, of a verse, yeah? We always put kasra, right? So unless two exceptions, the first exception is if the third letter is a dhamma, so alif, and one to let udkhulu, yeah? Dal is second, kha is the third letter, kha is the dhamma, so you put the dhamma as the first letter, udkhulu. This is the first exception. Second exception is this, when the second letter is a lam, right? Then you will put the fatha on the alif, so it will alhamdulillah, of course. Well, and if there's another letter before the alif, yeah, the alif will be irrelevant. Yeah, so especially when next letter is a sukun or a shadda, so there's a lam in the first line in the on the left side. The lam is a sukun there. Yeah, so and as the waw is the first letter, so alif becomes irrelevant. So you say walhamdu, not walhamdu. Yeah, alif would lose its function. Yeah. But of course, in writing, it must be there because if not, it doesn't make sense, the sentence itself. Yeah. So the first line, ma'al hamdi, bil hamdi, lakal hamdi. Very straightforward. Yeah. Second, second page is the same in the sense that, still emphasizing about the relevance, or well, I should say the irrelevance in terms of the recitation of the alif when there's another letter in front of the alif. Yeah. So maktasabat, the first line, maqatatalu fil ardi. Yeah, the alif is not pronounced. The third page is when we learn how to end this sentence. Yeah. So this is when the second last letter, like this one is a ya, amin, right? The ya prolong the mim, so amin. So the last letter you put a sukun sign. And we discussed before that you can either pronounce or prolong the ya or the kasra into 2, 4, or 6 harakat, right? So you can say amin or amin 4 harakat, or 6 amin 6 harakat. So when you recite the verses of the Quran in the salah, or when you're reciting the Quran with tajweed, yeah, so you need to be consistent. If you decide to hold for 6 harakat for the verses, you need to hold everything for 6 harakat. So I will say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Yeah, so everything is held at the same length. Yeah, so this is it. Yeah, but of course, if you look at on page number 3, sisters, if you look at the third last line, yeah, when there's nothing to extend, you do it quickly. Fil uqad, not fil uqad, fil uqad, because there's nothing to extend the qaf there. Yeah, idha hasad. Yeah, and then after that, of course, is the first time when you learn into this, came into book 5, that you read a proper sentence, a full sentence in the Quran. And this is, a lot of people are very happy because, oh, I've come so far, right? Alhamdulillah. All right. Now the next page number 6. Now, when there is alif as the last letter, yeah, and you have a fatha, and 2 fatha, so abadan becomes abada. You only hold for 2 harakat. It's not 4, not 6, only 2 harakat. Yeah. So abadan becomes abada. Right. So when you read at the first line, you read yawmal qiyamati wazna wal adiyati dabha. Yeah. So, but you do need to. I notice some of my students, sometimes they either they don't prolong it or they forgot there's an alif there. Yeah. People recite as, if you read the third line, wal muriyati qadha, not qadha, hold it for 2 harakat. Yeah. Now the next one, page number 7, is when the last letter is a ta marbuta. Yeah, the 2 dots with the circle right at the end. We discussed before how the ta becomes the ha, yeah, and you end it. You put a sukun at the last letter, yeah. So aniyatin becomes aniyah. Again, there's a common mistake of the students is they said aniyah, no, not the ha, but the ha from the chest, yeah, the big ha. So the first line, tasla naron hamiyah, yeah, tusqa min ainin aniyah, yeah, the aniyah, yeah, so from the chest, not from the throat. Okay, any questions so far, sisters? Okay, good.
Thank you.
Now, now we go to page number 9.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam katu. Yeah, we're on page number 9 now, but we have this mad. All right, just to revise, the mad is a squiggly sign. Only two kinds of mad is obligatory 6 harakat. We're gonna go through this later, inshallah. The first one is when you have at the end of this book, all right, you have the mad shadda followed by the mad. Yeah, so you can see on page number 27, yeah, when waladdallin, yeah, mad followed by shadda, yeah, so you hold it for 6 harakat. Another one, the 6 harakat would be at the beginning of some surah, yeah, alif lam mim, it's obligatory 6. The rest you hold it for 4 harakat, inshallah. Right, no need 6. You can hold it for 6, but it's not necessary. Yeah, so you can see here very clearly. We are page number 9. Yeah, the example right at the top, la a'budu. Yeah, then next one, this is a very common word, ulaika. Yeah, you need to hold it for 4 harakat. Okay, so this is quite straightforward, the mad. Yeah, so only, as I said, I repeat again, only the one which is the beginning of the surah, 6 harakat obligatory, and the mad followed by shadda is 6 harakat, waladdallin. Okay, the next page is shadda. Shadda is when I do notice some students are not emphasizing on that letter. We're going to go through more in detailed shadda at a later stage. All right, but for the nun shadda and then mim shadda is special. You hold it for 2 harakat and nasal from the nose. Yeah, so it will be in the n is 2 harakat, and the amma, yeah, is 2 harakat. So you will find in the example 1, 2, 3, the third line, yeah, from the top, innahu, innaha, ummuhu, ummuha. The is 2 harakat. Yeah, so in the verse of, after that examples, innahum kanu mujrimin wa inna. Okay, now you have a shadda on a nun and a mad. The na, hold it for 4 harakat. Wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Thumma adbara yaz'a. Okay, so this is quite straightforward. Nun shadda and mim shadda, hold it for 2 harakat and ghunna or nasal. The next one, this is the first, number 11 is the first time you come across, well, I always in my class or our classes about this word in Arabic called idgham. Idgham means you merge with the next letter. So this is the first time you encounter this. Many kinds of idgham. 2 kinds of idgham in general. There are one with the with ghunna, yeah, or without ghunna, which means nasal without nasal. So this is idgham bi ghunna, yeah, which is you hold it for 2 harakat. Idgham means you merge with the next letter. This is the rule. You and I know this. When nun sukun or the tanwin means a double sign, comes across the nun shadda of the mim shadda. So you literally, the tanwin or the nun sukun, you ignore it and you join with the nun shadda or the mim shadda, yeah, and hold it for 2 harakat and nasal, yeah. So it's an idgham bi ghunna, yeah. So in the example, instead of saying amilatun nasibah, yeah, amilatun nasibah. The next one, example, min and ma'in, yeah, because nun sukun again, as to identify this, as I repeat so many times, the sukun sign they take out. So the nun is left without any sign, right? So the mim kasra joins directly to the mim shadda. So mim, yeah, mim in ma is 4 harakat because of the mad. Don't forget about this. Yeah, tanwin, as I said before, it is to identify that you need to change is staggered, right? One in front of the next, or the dhamma time. Yeah, it's 99, right? So we can look, for example, okay, let's read the second last line. Yeah, walan nu'ajizahu haraba fakuluhu hani'am mari'a. Yeah, this is quite difficult because it's mad followed by idgham. Yeah, so we do need to improve ourselves to recognize quickly. Yeah, because when you read the Quran, as you know, all the rules are coming in. Yeah, so you do need to quickly recognize the rules, inshallah. Yeah, the last line, amilatun nasibah khushubum musannadah. Yeah, khushubum, bum, not bun, because but there's a dhamma time on two dhamma, two dhamma, yeah, comes across a mim shadda, and the dhamma you can see is 99. Okay, so this is idgham bi ghunna when nun sukun or the tanwin comes across mim shadda and nun shadda. Any questions so far, sisters? Is it clear, Layla?
Yeah, it's clear.
Zainab?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So no, on Saturday, no mistakes, isn't it true?
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
We are going to, this is your homework. You need to go through this. Juz'ama from 78, 79, 80, 81 if you have time, all right? But start 100% inshallah, we start from the 78, Surah 78, all right? Starts from we go from the other side, yeah? 78, 79, 80, if you have time, 81 inshallah, all right? We go in details the rules, and I'm going to explain in details the rules when we read the Quran inshallah, yeah? Try to come on time, inshallah. I hope to come on time. Please forgive me if I'm late. I hope there's no underground which is closed this weekend. My house is about 1 hour away from the mosque. Yeah, so please forgive me if I'm late, but try to come on time, inshallah. Yeah. The next one is when alif lam is not pronounced. Yeah. Well, in Arabic, shamsiyah letter, the solar letters. Yeah. So you have an alif lam is there, but you don't pronounce it. You go straight to the shadda. And this is quite important. It's quite a lot in the Quran regarding this. Yeah. So when you have an alif, the sign on top of the alif is called the hamzatul wasl, which means it's just ignore the alif. It's nothing to pronounce. Yeah. So an example given at the top is wan naharu, wan nasu, bin nuduri. Right. Remember nun shad. First of all, you skip alif lam. Next, remember nun shadda or mim shadda is 2 harakat and gunna nasal. So this is the one. The second line, fi sudurin nas. Right. Now the next one, remember the ruling, alif there's no sign, but the second letter is a lam. So you need to put yourself, alif is a fatha, kasra or dhamma. Yeah, because second letter is a lam. The exception and the ruling is that the general ruling, everything put kasra, isn't it true? But this is the exception because second letter is a lam, so you put fatha on alif. So al-waswasil khannas. The next one, wan-nazi'ati gharqa, wan-nashitati nashta. Yeah. Questions? Now, the next one, number 4, the next page number 14, 15, 16, all shadda. Shadda, as you can read for yourself, right, in the instructions. Every reading that contains the tashdid, the W sound, the shadda, must be stressed and read with a strong and heavy intonation, right? So it's not enough to say kabara, kabbara. So go up a notch, yeah, kabbara, yukabbiru, rattala, yurattilu. Okay, so in the sentences, the long sentence. So just let us read the last verse. Yeah, sorry, the last verse, the last line. Yeah. سبحان الذي سخر لنا هذا وما كنا له مقرنين. Right? In the line on top, innal abrara lafi na'im wa innal fujjara lafi jahim. Fujja, yeah, fujja, not fujja, fujjara, yeah. Next page, right? You have again other examples of shada on the dal, yeah. Baddala, yubaddilu, addaba, yuaddibu, karrama, yukarrimu, wazza'a, yuwazzi'u, fassara. So emphasis on the tashdid. Yeah. So again in the last line of this page number 15, wa huwa as-sami'ul 'alim. لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ. Yeah, minasha, not minasha. Minasha, yeah, above, I mean, you lift up one notch. Minashakirin. Okay, so all are the same. The shaddas, the rules are all the same. Yeah, so we 16, 17 are all tashdid, right? So, 18, 19 are all the practices. Yeah, now 20 now. Page number 20, another rule is when you have a mim sukun followed by a ba, right? And this is only the ba will make the change to the mim sukun. You hold it for 2 harakat and ghunna or nasal. Yeah. If you see it, other letters, ta, thim, tha, jim, and all this, it doesn't affect anything. Right? Only this ba as a letter after mim sukun. Right? And to identify it, the sukun sign on the mim is taken out. As you can see, kafartum ba'da imanikum. Yeah. Kafartum, the mim sukun is taken out. That's said it's like empty there, but you need to pronounce it 2 harakat nasal. Yeah. Kafaratum ba'da imanikum. The first line, فَبَشِّرْهُمْ بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ وَزَوَّجْنَاهُمْ بِحُورٍ عِينَ. The dhamma is missing. Yeah. تَرْمِيهِمْ بِحِجَارَةٍ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. So this is the mim sukun followed by letter ba. Questions? Are we clear? Alhamdulillah. Now page number 22, 23 is when we have Allah. First of all, Allah is always pronounced with 2 harakat. So Rasulullah, yeah, Allahu, not Allahu Akbar, Allahu, yeah. So important that we realize is Bismillah, right? Not Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So even though it is a fatha on the lam as in Allah, yeah, you always hold over 2 harakat. The difference is when you have the letter before Allah. If it is fatha, the top sign, or the dhamma, you thicken the tongue. So you say wallahu, yeah, not wallahu, like in some Asian cultures. It is wallahu, yeah. So Allahu Akbar, not Allahu Akbar. Allah is very annoying, honestly, right? You need to thicken the tongue. Allahu Akbar, yeah. Sami'allahu liman hamida, not Sami'allahu liman, Sami'allahu, yeah. And if it's dhamma, Rasulullahi. Yeah, so in the first line, Qul huwallahu ahad. Allah always 2 harakat. Yeah, because in this case, waw has a fatha, so thicken and not qul huwallah, Qul huwallahu ahad. Yeah, Allahu samad. Okay. The next page is when it is the word the letter before Allah is kasrah. Obviously, it's quite obvious. You wouldn't say Bismillah, is it? Bismillah. So lighten the Allah. Yeah. So lillahi. Yeah. Billahi. Yeah. In the second line, wala quwwata illa billah. Yeah. Line below, afa aminu makrallah. The second last line, qulillahu. Yeah. Qulillah. Not qulillah. Yeah. Qulillahu asra'u makra. Because the lam, the quli, lam is the kasrah. Okay. Next one. Fakafa billahi shahida. Billahi. Yeah. Not billah. Okay, because it's kasrah before Allah. Next one, okay, this is another idgham. Remember just now we did a idgham. The nun sukun and tanwin comes before mim shadda and nun shadda, and they call it idgham bi ghunna, with ghunna. We hold it for 2 harakat. Yeah, or when we talk about bi ghunna, with ghunna is always 2 harakat, always. Yeah. Now is idgham, you merge it but without ghunna, and so you don't hold it at all. Yeah. So you have a first one in page number 24. Nun sukun and tanwin, or tanwin comes across a ra shadda. Okay, you have man and ra shadda. Again, in idgham rulings, the nun sukun is taken out. So you can see man. The first one was on the right side is there, is it? Man ra'a. But when we had a ra shadda, it took out the nun, the sukun sign, and you join it. Marra'a. Marra'a. The next line, we have khafidatun and rafi'ah. So merge khafidatur rafi'ah. Yeah. So the next line, wallahu ghafurur rahim. So this is idgham bila, there is no ghunna. Same thing if on the next page when you have a lam shadda, you merge it. Yeah. At the same time, no shadda. So you have example man and the lam shadda. So again, they take out the sukun sign on the nun. Yeah. Instead of saying man lam, you said malam. Malam. So shadda is emphasis. Remember, we talk shadda. You raise your notch a little bit. Not malam. Malam. Yeah. Malam. Yeah. Next one. Khairun and laka becomes khairul laka. But don't hold it. So I heard people say khairul laka. No, khairul laka. There's no 2 harakat. Yeah. So the next example below, dhikrul lil alamin. The next one line below, yeah. Yawma idhil lil mukaththibin. Okay, the next one below, فَمَنْ لَمْ يَجِدْ فَصِيَامُ ثَلَاثَةِ أَيَّامٍ. Yeah. So this is the 2 rules is idgham bila ghunna, with no ghunna. Before this, we talk idgham bi ghunna, when the shadda is on the mim and the nun. This is lam and ra, no ghunna, 1 harakat. Okay. Now 27. I think this is the last of this ruling of this book, number 5. This is what we discussed just now. Mad followed by shadda. Always 6 harakat. Even so in your salah, if you have been reciting short, extend it to 6. It's obligatory. Yeah. Waladdallin. Yeah. So the example there, the jim, right? The mad, but there's no shadda, right? Hold it for 4 only. Ja'atit tammatul kubra. Yeah. The line below, the second part. Remember the alif, there's no sign because the lam is a sukun on the second letter. You put a fathah, is it true? Yeah. Al-haqqatu mal-haqqah. So again, because you're coming across shadda, you put on a high, you elevate your intonation. Yeah. Al-haqqatu mal-haqqah. Okay. The next one below, فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الصَّاخَّةُ. Yeah, صَاخَّةُ. Very important. Yeah. One below on the left side, وَلَا تَحَاضُّونَ. Okay. So again, the rulings of shadda always apply. So that means you read it high intonation, but because also the mad is followed by shadda, you hold that mad for 6 harakat obligatory. Questions? No questions? Okay, let's go to book 6. Let me drink some water first. Bismillah. Now, when you go to book 6, alhamdulillah, as you know, you breathe a sigh of relief. Alhamdulillah, 5 books finished. How bad can it be? Actually, there's a lot of rules here, isn't it, through book 6, right? Again, we begin with the idgham again, right? So let's go to the first page. The nun sukun or the tanween comes across the wow, letter wow, yeah. And how do you react? Idgham means you merge, isn't it true? Be ghunna with ghunna. Ghunna means nasal. And of course, whenever the ghunna we said before is always 2 harakat. How do you identify it again? Well, first of all, your eyes must move faster. There's wow there, right? The rulings is nun sukun and tanween comes across wow. Secondly, as I said before, the nun sukun is taken out, the sukun sign taken out. And of course, the tanween is staggered or 99 for the dhamma time. Yeah. So the example given, min and wahidin. Again, you can see, oh, the sukun sign is taken out. Something must be there. Then you look further, oh, there's a wow. So nun sukun and wow is a ruling, isn't it true? So it's idgham. So not min wahid, miu, miu. Yeah, miu and nasal miu wahid. The next one, khairun and wa abqa. Khairu wa abqa. Khairu. Yeah, khairu, not khairun. Khairu, not khairau. Because run is always the ru, right? Khairu. And to harakat. Khairu wa abqa. Okay. Let's do the last line of this page, number 1. Buhtana wa ithman mubina. So there's 2 idgham and both of them with ghunna, right? The first one was buhtanan followed by waw. So buhtanan wa. Don't forget the wa. A lot of people forgot about wa. Buhtanan wa. As if there's a shaddah on the waw, right? And ithman and mubina. Man, you can see it's staggered, right? And then mim shadda. So we did the very first idgham that we did. Wa ithman mubina. The next one, miu. Okay, miu, miu. So again, as if there's a shadda on the wow. Yeah, miu waliyyin wala nasir. Right. So this is the idgham bi ghunna. Right, when the tanween or the sukun sign comes across the wow, letter wow. So let's skip the next page and go to the page after that, page number 4. Instead of letter wow, you have a letter ya. Yeah. So non sukun and tanween comes across letter ya. Same thing. Let's look at the examples. You have an and you sola. Then you say, oh, the non sukun sign is taken out. Must be something changed there, isn't it true? So you have the ya as the next letter quickly. Okay, then this must be idgham. Right? So idgham means you merge it. So instead of saying an, you say ain. Yeah. So as if now, as if there's a shadda on the ya, isn't it true? Right, and hold it for 2 harakat. So ain sola. Yeah, ain sola. The next one, qaumun and yuqinun. And you say, oh, mun. There's the tanwin, the dhamma tan is 99. Something must be changed somewhere because, oh, next letter is a ya. And this is how you should play in your mind, right? Because I hate to say this, inshallah, your mind, your eyes must move faster, right? To know what's happening in the ruling to change, inshallah, to have a proper tajweed. Now, what's the difference between tajweed and tartil? Sisters? Zainab?
I'm not too sure.
Now, tajweed, no, tartil is obligatory. Tajweed is a bonus. That means everywhere you go, it should sound the same. But tartil is more important because, so that means, okay, let's say this example, right? Even though if I read, I'm taking the first line, right? Even though I read as an you sola, I'm not wrong on the tartil side. The meaning is still the same. It doesn't change the meaning. Whether I said an you or an you sola, the meaning is still the same. However, tartil is, I said just now, right? On Saturday, if there is a word Azab. Azab. Right, longer. And the. Azab. What does it mean?
Punishment.
Punishment. But azab. Azab is a male who is single. Azab. And azab sounds similar, isn't it, for all of us who doesn't understand Arabic? But the meaning itself is very different. So this is tartil, yeah, that it must have the proper makhraj, tongue position, and must two harakat for adhab, yeah, to make it like a punishment of Allah, yeah. So another example, as I've given you before in Surah number 76, Al-Insan, verse number 3 and verse number 5. One of them, I think verse number 3 is called kafuro, yeah, kafuro, yeah. Another one, verse number 5, at the end bit, the word is kafuro. One is kafuro, another one's kafuro. One, the kaf is only one harakat, kafuro, in verse number 3. Verse number 5 is kafuro. If one harakat, kafuro, it means that it is a person who is ungrateful to Allah, as a disbeliever. But kafuro, you extend it to harakat, it means a spring in paradise. So you have changed the meaning completely, and that is tartil. Understand? Right? And it's quite important. So even when I say innal ladina amanu or innal ladina amanu, so I do not know this tajweed, it doesn't change the meaning. This is tajweed. It's not tartil. Okay? So it is important that we understand this. So this is tajweed. So even though the second part I say in the first line, right? The second part, qawmun yuqinun, I say qawmun yuqinun. It doesn't make any difference in the meaning because I do not know tajweed. But of course, to be better in terms of similarities or uniformities, whether you're from China, whether you're from India, whether you're from America, right? You hold it for two harakat. Qawmun yuqinun, right? This is the ruling of tajweed. Okay, so idgham in general is forms of tajweed rules, which makes your recitation much better, of course. Yeah. So the example below, the second line, man and yu'minu, yeah, man yu'minu billah illa an yasha Allah. There are two mad here. Can you see? Illa, there's a mad on the lam. And then yasha, the shin, there's a mad, so you need to hold for 4 harakat. Illa an yasha Allah. Allah is also 2 harakat. Okay. So the next one, next line, 2 harakat. Even if you say in yaquluna, it doesn't change the meaning. So it's still okay, right? It's tajweed. But if you want to better yourself with the tajweed rules, إن يقولون إلا كذبا أن يأتيني بهم جميعا. Okay, so this idgham bi ghunna. When the next letter is a yeah, after the nun sukun and the tanwin. The next one, turn the page after this. Page number 7. Non sukun and tanwin comes across letter ba, right? And again, in the Uthmani Quran, you have the ba, and also before that, you have a small meme, like a small meme sign. You know, it's called Iqra, right? And as I said before, your teeth doesn't touch, and you put it almost touching, and you put a paper, the paper can pass through, right? So it's called Iqra. And even the tanwin before that, they take out one of the tanwin to become a single sign. So you can see min ba'di, so not mim ba'di, not min ba'di, so min, can you see my lips? So it's not min, if I say min, my lips are opening too much. So min, yeah, min ba'di, yeah. Next one, nurun, not nurum. So if I say nurum, I'm closing my lips. I don't say nurun, my lips are too open. So in between, nurun baiti. Sorry. Yeah. Next one, abadan. Yeah, abadan bima kafirin bih awanun baina. Okay, so it's got iqla. Very straightforward because easy because you can see the small meme there, right? You must not confuse the small meme with the meme which marks the stopping of the punctuation marks needed is to stop, right? Because the meme is a different kind of writing, the meme. Okay. Next one. Now, page number 11. Right, this is the lots of pages for you to practice the ikhfa. Ikhfa is when you have a nun sukun and tanwin that comes before 15 letters. If you memorize these 15 letters, alhamdulillah. If you don't memorize, don't worry. Again, look at the to identify it. You have a sukun sign is taken out, or tanwin is staggered, yeah, or the 99 dhammatan is 99, yeah. So 15 letters. The first letter ta anta, yeah, wa antum tutla wa man tatawwa'a wa an taqulu wa aknantum. Right? So ta is the first letter, tha is second letter. Next page. The third letter is jim, fourth is dal, fifth is val, sixth is zai. Yeah, next page. 7 is sin, 8 is shin, 9 is sod, 10 is dod. Next page. The 11th letter is to, 12 is tho, 13 is fa, 14 is qaf. Next page. 15th letter is kaf. Right, this is called ikhfa. That means if nun sukun or tanwin comes across as 15 letters. Okay, because ikhfa, hold it for 2 harakat and nasal. So let's look at the last bit here at the 15th letter, kaf. Yeah. Are you all at the same page? We're in page number 18. This page is before the punctuation marks. Yeah. So فَمَنْ كَانَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا وَفَاكِهَةٍ كَثِيرًا وَلَتَعْلُنَّ. There's a lam. The dhamma is a lam missing. عُلُوًّا كَبِيرًا. Okay. So it's all boils down, inshallah, to your practice. It's quite difficult to practice alone because you might miss it, isn't it true, right? It's quite difficult to practice with people who doesn't know tajweed, right? Okay, this is where tajweed comes in the sense that even though in the first line, the kaf, right? Even though I say faman kana, it's nothing wrong with it. The meanings are still the same. You are not penalized, right? It's not a sin, right? It is a sin when the tartil, you do not know about it and change the meaning completely. We discussed before, it's very easy thing. When you say Allahu Akbar, it means Allah is the greatest. If you say Allahu Akbar, it's a question if you prolong the alif in the beginning, right? Which means, is Allah the greatest? Right? So it is tartil. You change everything because your tartil is wrong. Understand? So there's the difference between tartil and tajweed. Questions before you move on to the punctuation marks? Now there are 6 that, as we know here. Very easy, right? If you see the mim, the qaf, the pair of 3 dots, and the jim, you stop, right? This is to make it easy so you don't confuse how to stop for you. But the ruling, for example, a jim, you can stop or up to go. It's up to you. Yeah. Next one is a lam, alif, and a silin, sod, and lam. You continue. You don't stop. Why do you have the punctuation marks? As I said before, sisters. So let's go to the previous page, right? There's a long verse. Fa inna lahu. Can you see? If a long verse, if I have no breath and I stop, I must come back to 1 or 2 words before that. So if I have no breath, for example, right? فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا وَنَحْشُرُهُ. I got no breath. So it's always good when there's a waw. Wa means end, yeah? Wa. I'll come back to wa. وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. I got no breath again, right? I'll come back يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى. Right? So when you have a long verse, right? and then you where you need to take your breath, you need to, well, practice inshallah first. Of course, at the first few months, I will let go because you're still getting used to the rulings and all these. Are confused. Is that idgham? Is it iqlab? Is it ikhfa? Right? But once come to the third or fourth month after you finish this, that means within after maybe January or February, right? You don't need to read everything in one breath. If you can, if not, stop like that and start from the place 1 2 words at the point where you stop. So for example, let's like the verse on top. That means the second last line of page number 18. يَوْمَ يَرَوْنَهَا لَمْ يَلْبَثُوا. I have no breath. Right? Okay, just to remind you, lam yalbathu, there's a mad there. Right? But if you want to stop, you only stop for 2 harakat. You don't, what you want to continue, you hold it for 4 harakat. Okay? So lam yalbathu, I stop because I got no breath. I come back to lam yalbathu. Lam yalbathu illa ashiyah. I got no breath again, for example. Right? Come back from illa. Illa is a very good place to. Okay, this illa means except in Arabic. Please, when you come across illa, don't just stop for ashiyatan, because when you stop ashiyatan, that means you have missed completely the meaning. Except is very important. Except EXCEPT, right? So because I stop at ashiyah, I come back to illa, yeah. Illa ashiyatan aw duhaha. So the punctuation marks in the next page. when you stop at the punctuation marks, you breathe and you start where you stop. You don't need to come back again. The next the few verses before, few words before, okay? So this punctuation marks. So just remember on the column, the 2 columns, right and left. On the right column, you see mim, qaf, 2 dots, and the jim. Next column, the jim on the top, you stop. See lam, alif, and silent, you continue. This is the practice. But again, we see if you read, listen to the recitation of the Quran. Some reciters would stop anywhere. I think because at the end of the day, when they know the meaning, you feel that okay, I want to stop because the meaning is best to stop. Right? So it really depends on how it is when at a much later stage when you can understand what you're reciting, then you stop whenever you think it is. But at this moment, this all is a guideline, yeah, for you and I to recite the Quran, yeah, and stop accordingly to the punctuation marks, inshallah. Okay. Questions? Okay. Now page number 21. You have then the next page, right? The 21. There's a nun shadda as the last letter before you stop. How do you stop? So the n and the hunna 2 harakat. So lahun. So for example, when I read this, the first line, hunna libasul lakum wa antum libasul lahun. Yeah, hun nisan 2 harakat. That sisters, that small bit I recite. There's so many rules, right? First of all, hunna nun shadda 2 harakat. Hunna libasul lakum. Sul, can you see? Sin. You see, sin is 99. Then next that is the lam shadda. So it is idgham, right? You merge it without hunna, right? Libasul lakum, right? Then wa antum, yeah, can see, the nun sukun sign is taken out. Why? Because ta is the next letter, so it must be ikhfa. Wa antum. And then libasul, again, this is again idgham without hunna. Wa sulla hun, yeah, 2 harakat because of the nun shadda. But if there's other letters with shadda as the last letter, you just put a sukun, right? So for example, the second line, the second part, yeah, from fa'illam yusibha wabilun fatol. No, fatol, yeah, fatol. Okay. Again, this verse itself, so many rules. Fa'illam, again, nun sukun followed by lam shadda. This is idgham. There's no sukun under the nun. It's taken out. This is wrong. Fa'illam, yeah. Yusibaha. Siba is qalqala, right? Yusibaha, right? Wabilun fadha. You can see wabilun. The lam is a dhamma, 2 dhamma type, 99. Must change, right? Why? Because fa, next letter is one of the 15 letters. So it is ikhfa. Wabilun fatal. Okay, but don't worry, sisters. I've been doing for many years. That's why I know all this. You will take some time. Don't worry, inshallah, and you get used to it. Okay, don't worry about all this. The line below, I just read the last part. Yeah, minal mas, not mas. Just mas. Put a sukun sign because not the nun shadda. Only the nun shadda you hold it for 2 harakat. Yeah. So as you read the line below, just the last bit. Illa dhon. This is nun shadda. Questions? Okay, next page. You have a hamza with a two fatha or fathatain, yeah, as the last letter, right? This is the only letter. That means hamza is the only letter, and with the 2 fatha, you end differently from the rest of the letters, because if you have a hamza as the last letter with a fathatain, you take out 1 fatha and put alif there, so it becomes 2 harakat. So ma, instead of saying ma and, you say ma, only 2 harakat. Okay, so for example, the first line, وَبَثَّ مِنْهُمَا رِجَالًا كَثِيرًا وَنِسَاءً. Right, again, let's analyze the rules. Right, وَبَثَّ min. Can you see the minhuma? Minhuma, there's a sukun sign. So that means there's nothing changed because ha is not one of the 15 letters. So in Arabic, the ruling is called idhar. Idhar means as it is. You don't change. Min, there's a sukun sign is intact. Minhuma rijalan. The lam you can see is staggered. Why? Because kaf is one of the 15 letters. Ikhfa. Rijalan kathiran. You can see ron. Kathiran. You can see is staggered again. Why? Then you change. Look next letter. Oh, it's wow. So it's idgham bi ghunna, right? So kathiran wa nisaa. Yeah, sin there's a mad there, so 4 harakat. Alif, hamza, there you put an alif in your head. Nisaa, 2 harakat. Okay, next one, the next line. كمثل الذي ينعق بما لا يسمع إلا دعاء ونداء. Right. So let's look at what the rulings that we find here in tajwid rulings. كمثل الذي, right? Shaddah there, so emphasize. كمثل الذي ينعق. Can you see the nun sukun sign is there? Because ain is not one of the 15 letters. That means the sukun sign means idhar as it is, right? Yan'iqu bima la yasma'u illa. Then you have du'a, it's mad, 4 harakat. And hamza, this is staggered. Why? Oh, next letter is a wow. So it's idgham bi ghunna, right? Illa du'a'an wa nida'a. Another mad. So dal is 4 harakat. And as the last letter is a hamza with a tanwin, two fatha, right? You hold it for 2 harakat. Wanida. Okay. Questions? Is it very confusing, Layla?
No.
All right. I think yes. Don't worry. I promise you, inshallah, make dua to Allah, right? Read more, inshallah, you get better. Don't worry, right? It all comes together in one piece and you will read the Quran beautifully, inshallah. Okay. 23, right? This is when the second last letter is a sukun, right? As you know, when you end any sentence in general, you put a sukun as the last letter. There are 2 sukuns. So the 2 sukuns must be pronounced. It must be quite clear. So wal fatah. I must hear fatah. Yeah, two signs, 2 letters. Clearly, wal fatah. Right? Next line, wal fajr. Fajr. Jim is a qalqala, right? Fajr. Wal fajr. Walayalin ashr. Right? Washav'i wal watr. So this is quite straightforward. 2 sukun signs on 2 letters. The last 2 letters must be pronounced. Okay. Next line. Next page. Sorry. If the last letter is qalqalah, remember qalqalah letters are 5. Qaf, ba, jim, ta, and dal, right? You need to memorize this, inshallah. So these 5 letters, if it's at the last letter of the sentence, you need to pronounce it properly. So this is the example. Rabbihkum bil haqq. Haqq. right? So this is where, without looking at this, right, you can see when you reset your al-falaq, right? Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq min syarri ma khalaq. Right, khalaq. Yeah? Wa min syarri ghasiqin idha waqab. Isn't it true? Right? Because all these are qalqal letters. So when you look at this, right? Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. Right? So let's look at the rules. Tabbat, okay, not tabbat, shadda, emphasis. Tabbat yada, yeah, there's a mad there, yeah. So 4 harakat. Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab, yeah. Lahabin. Then you see, oh, wow, there's a tanwin, but it's staggered, right? Then look at next letter quickly. Oh, there's a wow. So idgham, yeah. Lahabin, 2 harakat. Nasal. Lahabin wa tab. Qalqalah, last letter, right? Qul hiya mawaqitu linnasi wal hajj. Okay, wal hajj. Because hajj, jim is the last qalqalah letters. Okay? So this is quite straightforward. Last ruling. I hate to say this. This is what we learn. In the Quran, there's 1 or 2 things I will teach you when it comes along, right? Not so obvious, because it's quite difficult to explain to you now online, but when it comes across this in the Quran, I'll explain to you, inshallah, right? There's 1 or 2 more things that is not covered in the 6 books, and one of them is called Nun Qutni. We'll come across this. When I come across it, I'll teach you, inshallah. Okay? Last rule of the book 6, inshallah, is when the mad is at the happen to be at the first few letters of beginning of the surah, isn't it true? So this is when you pronounce the name of the letter, not how it sounds. It's not alama, right? Alif lam mim, yeah, taha, or alif lam mim sod, right? Alif lam ra, right? Not ala ra, right? So alif lam mim, right? 6 harakat. If you look at the second line, kaf ha ya ain sod, in one breath, right? And when there's the letters that has no mad, you hold it for 2 harakat. So like the next part of this second line, Taha, right? Only 2 harakat because there's no mad at all, right? And then next one, Tasim, Tasin, right? So it's quite straightforward. Just mention the name of the letter, not how it sounds like. And that's it. Alhamdulillah, the book 6 has finished, right? Any questions? Is it better today, Zainab?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Like, I understand now finally the staggered. You say the staggered and then.
Yeah, it is. But I hate to say this, you need to choose the Uthmani Quran, right? Yeah. We choose the Asian Qurans, there's no difference. There's no staggered. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So the Quran in the mosque, some of them are Asian, some of them are Uthmani. How you recognize again is staggered, 99, 69. In Asian Qurans, all are 69. There's no 99.
Okay.
Right. So choose the Uthmani Quran, inshallah, because for me, I started with the Asian Quran in Singapore. Then when I came here, subhanallah, it's completely different. My speed went down completely. But when it came out again, because it really, Uthmani Quran helps us to recognize the rules very easily without memorizing many things, right? So this is it. Alhamdulillah, sisters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you to recite the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you among those whom He will please with because of your continuous striving to please Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you the best reciters that we can ever find. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala please with us for our efforts to recite the Quran in the best of manner. Yep. Don't forget, inshallah, on Saturday, we're going to recite, inshallah, for sure, 78, 79. Right? I'll see how fast the pace is because I do need to extract in details the rules so that you can understand clearly. Right? If we can, 80, 81, but for sure, inshallah, 78, 79. So practice. The reciters that good to listen, for example, is who Zaifa, is it? Yeah. A reciter who's I'm going to put in your website, inshallah, on your WhatsApp group, inshallah, and you can listen because it's slow. Don't listen to what do you call it, Sheikh Sudais and all this. They're beautiful, of course, but it's not for you to learn to recite at your beginning stage. All right, so slow reciters are very important, inshallah. Okay, subhanakallah wa bihamdika la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati ma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakumullah khair. We will see you on Saturday at 12:30, inshallah. Yeah.
جزاك الله خير.
جزاك الله
وعليكم السلام
خير.
ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
جزاك الله خير.